Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video here on Moto. Today we are going to make a Q&A on my 50cc Derbi Senda. So this is going to be the second time I make a Q&A during my YouTube career. The first time I did a Q&A was about a year ago. Back then I didn't even have 1,000 followers, so I didn't get many questions back then. But now I got around 30,000 followers on TikTok, so I just posted a TikTok story and asked you guys to write some questions for the Q&A. So the plan for today is just to ride around on my bike and ask some questions that you guys have asked me. So let's get right into the video. Before I answer any questions, I'm just gonna pop some wheelies and get warmed up, and then we'll head out on the streets and start answering the questions. Okay, now first question. Cop Diesel 3646 commented, does the rear shock riser actually help with wheelies? Well, let me answer that. So this question right here was a really good question. A couple of months ago I made a YouTube video where I talked about if a racer for your bike really helps with wheelies. Unfortunately that video right now isn't public because I showed my license plate and face and stuff in that video, so I didn't want it to be up on YouTube. So I'm just going to answer the questions right now. A question to that: yes, a racer is the best mod you can put on your bike with wheelies. I would almost go as far and say that a racer is better than a better exhaust with helping you with wheelies. It's such a big difference with having a racer on your bike and not having a racer. Not only is it a lot easier to get the bike up on the back wheel, but it also helps you stay up on the back wheel. With a racer, the balance point of the bike gets a lot more bigger than without one. That means that you can be at balance point a lot easier because the balance point is a lot further down on the back wheel, so you don't have to go as far back when you're doing wheelies. So to answer that question, yes, a racer is one of the best mods that you can put on your bike to help you with wheelies. Right now, this bike right here is completely stock right now. It do have a Enox exhaust on right now, but it is restricted, so it acts just like a normal exhaust. And I do have a racer on right now, so look at this. Look how easy I get the bike up on the back wheel with the racer on the bike. A racer is the best mod that you can purchase if you want to start stunting. And not only does it help with your wheelies, it also makes your bike look a lot more nice. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, next question. GS Stunts 3138 commented, why didn't you tune your bike more with a 70cc kit and carburetor and etc? Let me answer that question. Okay, I began my wheelie journey around 2 years ago. Back then I wheelied on a stock bike, and I was able to get up on the back wheel on a stock bike and do quite decent wheelies. So I never felt the need for a faster bike because I don't really care about the speeds, because I like stunt riding. So I much rather have a bike that goes 60 kilometers per hour and has a lot of acceleration and good torque than having a bike that goes 100 kilometers per hour and has bad acceleration. But of course, if you tune your bike and get a 70cc, it will get a lot easier to do wheelies. But you know, back then I didn't really feel the need for tuning my bike. Not only could I do wheelies on a stock bike, which is quite hard. Me being able to wheelie a stock bike was also my thing on YouTube around 2 years ago when I started, because not so many people can do it. So not only could I do wheelies on a stock bike, so I didn't feel the need to tune my bike, but also if you ride a stock bike, you get a whole nother sense of freedom, because you never have to worry about the police. I can just pop a wheelie right here without having to care that the police watches me and takes my license and stuff. But of course it's super boring to ride a stock bike, so that's a really big downside. Now that I've ridden with a unrestricted Enox Exhaust, which is technically tuned but it's not super tuned, I don't think that I could ride much longer with a stock bike because the bike is super slow and it's not fun, you know. Anyways, get back on track. So back then I didn't need a 70cc because I could still do wheelies. And the reason why I haven't tuned my bike more this season is because I've been saving up for a 125. So I haven't really felt that it's worth it. But of course it's really great content with a 70cc bike, so I could have made a lot better videos. So let's move on to next question. Okay, next question. Jesper Slegers has commented, why did you buy a Derbi and not a Beta or a HM? Let me answer that. Well, when I was looking to buy my first moped ever, firstly I wanted to buy a Reijo MRT, but after trying them out, I felt like they had no power at all, and I didn't like them. Of course, if I had put on a unrestricted Enox exhaust on them, they would have been a lot more nicer, but back then I didn't want to tune my bike, and it was actually a coincidence why I bought this bike right here. So I was scrolling on Blocket, which is a Swedish marketplace where you can sell your bikes. My bike is actually up on Blocket right now. Anyways, so I was looking around Blocket and looking for a bike, and then I stumbled across this Derbi right here. Firstly, I didn't want to buy it, so I offered a really low price for it because I didn't really want it. So I asked for a really low price. The owner of the bike said no. And that was it. I know, I didn't care. I kept on looking for Reijo MRTs. Then about a week later, after I had asked for that low price, the owner of the bike asked if I still wanted it for that price. So I went and looked at the bike. It ran great and everything, so I thought, for that price, this is a good bike. So I bought the bike. So that's why I bought the Derbi. So I didn't really have any connection with Derbi back then. But now that I've tried out many different bikes, I have to say that Derbi is one of the best, actually. Beta RR is also very nice because they're super easy to stunt with, because they're so light. But yeah, Derbis are really reliable, and yeah, I like them. So that's why I bought a Derbi and not like a Reijo or something else. It was just a coincidence. So let's move on. Okay, next question. Yamaha commented, how long did it take to learn wheelies? Okay, so around a year ago, I made a 1-year wheelie progression where I went through from the beginning to where I was back then, which was a year of wheeling. Fortunately, that video as well is private right now, because yeah, you could see my face in that video and you could see my license plate, and I couldn't blur it out for some reason, so that is very sad. So I had to take that video down. But now during the off season, when I can't ride my bike or anything, I'm going to make a new wheelie progression video where I go through all of my moped years and go through what I've accomplished on a moped. So stay tuned for that during the winter. So you guys will get content during the winter as well. I have recorded 2 moto vlogs. I got a Derbi Senda tuning story planned, and the wheelie progression video, and a couple of stunt edits and a summer movie. So we got at least 6 videos to look forward during the off season. And then as soon as I get my 125 next year, I will start to make YouTube videos again. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be quite hard for me to get my driver's license, but I can still ride 125. It's just going to be sketchy, and you know. So I will make a YouTube video where I go through my wheelie progression and how long it took me to wheelie. But I can summarize it really short. It took me a couple of months just to get the bike up on the back wheel on a completely stock bike with no racer, no tuning, nothing at all. So a couple of months, like 3 months, to get up on the back wheel. And then as soon as I put the racer on and switched to a larger front sprocket, it took me around 2 months before I can do like 4th gear wheelies. Yeah, as soon as I unrestricted the bike, I went beast mode. So yes, so stay tuned for that video. Okay, that was it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and maybe drop a nice comment. And if you have any questions for the next Q&A, comment them down below, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.